Hi guys, my name is Cortland Jacoby and I am here with Punch Drunk Critics. And today we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the writer, director, and star of Spring Blossom, Suzanne Lindon. Hi, Suzanne, how are you?
Hi, thank you very much for having me. I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing really well. I'm very excited to talk to such a young filmmaker. Spring Blossom feels like a very personal film, not only in the story, but in the direction, down to the fact that you named your character after yourself. What spurred you to write this particular story in general?
Well, actually, I started to write it when I was 15 and I was still in high school, and it was the first year of my high school years. And I think that, well, I've always wanted to be an actor, but my dad and my mom are two actors and friends, and I wanted to feel very legitimate to do it. And because I was very shy and because I needed to feel comfortable with the idea that I wanted to do the same thing as they wanted to do, um, I decided to find my own way to do it. And I started to write a story and to write me a role. And because I was a teenager, I was also living the fact that it was very complicated to discover myself because, you're torn between two feelings, like you're not a child anymore, but you're not a grown up yet. So you don't really know who you are and you're looking for yourself. And I think I've been inspired by that. And I decided to start writing this film as if I were writing a sort of diary at that time, but someone else's diary, like my character's diary. And it was great because it was the opportunity for me to play, but also to write and to direct for the very first time. So it was it was a great experience, actually.
So as you mentioned before, you started writing this in high school, your first year, um, and you filmed it when you were 19, right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big gap. Did the story go through drastic changes and rewrites during that 4-year period, or did you know exactly, okay, this is the story I want to tell?
No, actually, I didn't change the script at all. I mean, there were actually two versions of the movie, but only two. Like the first one was a very general novel, like a short novel, because everything was very described, and I was, explaining everything like with huge sentences and stuff, and there were no dialogues and everything. But in the second versions, it really looked like a script, and I added some dance scenes because I wanted to add some at the end of the script. But I think that I had to wait because it was very complicated to find money to produce the movie
Right.
because I was very young, and so people were kind of surprised by my age and by the fact that maybe they doubted the fact that I could be capable of doing something like that because I was very young. And also I had to finish high school and pass my exams, and when I passed my exam, then I was free to do it. So I felt more comfortable, and I had plenty of time to think about it and to do it very seriously because before that I needed to go to school, and so it was weird doing the two things at the same time. So
The film version of Suzanne, her go-to drink is a grenadine and lemonade, which is very similar to a Shirley Temple in the States. Um, why choose that drink to show her innocence? And is that a personal favorite of yours?
well, first because this is what I've always drunk with my friends and stuff. And no, but this is something really important for me in my life, but also for the character in the movie because she's not drinking alcohol and she's just drinking something kind of unique, something very special, and it shows how different she can be from the others, and the fact that she's a little like she's a misfit with her friends and stuff. And I remember that when I was sitting at the cafe with my friends and when they were ordering stuff like beers or wine or stuff like that, and when I used to order like a grenadine and lemonade, I felt like a strange person because they were all looking at me like, oh my god, what are you doing? And also because I wanted to film something very beautiful, and I think that its aspect is very cool because it's red and with a lot of bubbles and stuff, and it to me it illustrates like teenage years, because it's pink and it's very beautiful, and it's something that you don't drink when you're an adult, even though if I think that I will keep drinking that. But
I drink those too. That's part of the reason why.
yeah, but it's something common, like it's something you order when you're young and when you just start to go to the cafe with your friends and stuff. And also because there's a French movie entitled Diabolomante, and I've always been a huge fan. Like it's like La Boum with Sophie Marceau. I
Okay.
don't know if yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like it's older than La Boum, but it's the same type of movies. Like um, coming of age films and stuff. And I've always loved this film, so it's like it was a reference that I really liked. And
Like a little tribute. I like that.
yeah.
Um, Music plays such a pivotal role in the movie. Each choice feels very deliberate. You have Mary J. Blige, obviously, at the high school party, which is great. But you also have like Sing Hallelujah and Dolce Vita. Did you know right away what musical selections you wanted to use?
When I was writing the film, I had no idea. Like I wasn't writing what songs I wanted in the script. There were no nothing like that. But when I started to think about it, the first music I had in mind was, when we're dancing the slow, Arnaud and I,
Yeah.
we're dancing on a Christophe song, and it's La Dolce Vita. And I knew, like, it was a sort of revelation, but I knew that I needed to have this song in my film, because I think not only because well, I really loved the lyrics, but also because I don't know, there is a sort of atmosphere that I really liked, and I think that this song is very romantic, so I wanted to have it. And then I had the idea, to have like the movie soundtrack, but also the character's soundtrack. So the music of the character is Christophe, and I have so many different songs by him, and the music of the movie is written and composed by Vincent Delerme, and
Did a great job.
there's a song at the end of the movie, and I wanted to have like a sort of atmosphere, but with very with a lot of things, like a different thing, as you said, Mary J. Blige, and sing Hallelujah during the party, but also something a little more romantic when she's alone, and when she's dancing with her parents or with her boyfriend, and the opera when they're dancing together, because it's something huge, and I needed to have something as huge as their love story. So
um, there's a sound technique that you use kind of in these musical interludes, often like when we're seeing a little bit more into Suzanne's psyche, where you just completely cut off the song like midway through. Talk to me about that origin and why you chose to use that musical motif.
well, actually, when I was editing the film, I decided to create like psychological music for the character when she's bored with other people and stuff. I needed this little piano theme to come and to isolate her, because I wanted her to be very in her own universe and stuff. So I decided to call Vincent Delerme, who's the musician who composed the music of the film, and we met at a cafe together, and I just told him about the movie. I think he didn't read the script at that time, but I was just talking to him, and he understood perfectly what I wanted, like this psychological music, that I wanted for the character. And the night after the coffee we had together, he sent me the theme of the movie, so it was kind of magical. But I think it's also something very personal. Like I used musics that I've always really loved, and it was a way for me also to bring my universe a little more in the film, because what I've listening with my parents or with my family was a lot of French music, and we have French music in the film. But also, I've been taking dance lessons, and my dancing teacher used to make us dance on opera things and stuff. So I don't know if I had like a very specific process for using these music pieces, but I really knew that some moments needed some kind of music and some others needed some other kind of music, and but it felt very natural for me to use this music this way. So
But you do stop a couple of the
yeah.
songs like before they finish. Was there like a reason behind that, or is that just sort of
No, I think it was more. It was like a feeling that I had when I was looking at the movie. You know, that there were no rules or anything. It was just something that I felt when I was looking at the images that I had, and with the editor, we just thought that it was better. It would be better if it stopped right there, just a second before the scene ends, or. But it's just, it was just feelings. So.
it's a really powerful technique. Your first film premiered at 2020 Cannes, which is like amazing at 1920. Obviously, COVID like prevented you from going in person, and but what was that experience like anyway? I mean, I'm sure that's like an amazing experience, even if it wasn't the whole thing.
Yeah, well, actually, I was so surprised and I was so not hoping for that. Like, I mean, of course, I was hoping for the movie to, become something because I wanted it to exist, and because I wanted to be proud of myself and proud of the film. But I would have never imagined something like that to happen to me or to the film, and it's huge. And I think that I will need 10 more years to really realize what's happening to me right now because it's too much. But um, when we finished to edit the film, it was last March, like March 2020, and we sent it to Ken, but just like that, we were
Yeah.
not even thinking that it would happen. And I think that the fact that the movie was selected here and in Toronto and in San Sebastian and everywhere, and the fact that it's going to be released in America, but also in England, everywhere, in Japan and in China, it's so huge that I kind of forgot COVID about the movie. I mean, not
Yeah.
in the in general, but it's like if I were high and not realizing what I was going through. So I think that I wasn't too disappointed to live this experience this way because I was so happy that everything could happen to me that I was only thinking positive.
You're one of the youngest directors ever accepted, right? Right? Yeah. 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 I was trying to research
And
that.
I'm the first, I'm the only female director born in 2000.
Yeah, that's amazing. You obviously have such a bright career and future ahead of you. What do you hope to, yeah, fingers crossed. What do you hope to accomplish in the next 5 years as a filmmaker and creative?
Well, I think it's really hard because I don't know. And as I said, 5 years ago, I would have never imagined something like that today. So I don't know. And maybe in 5 years, I will not do anything. And I don't know. I hope not, but I can't be sure of anything. The thing I know is that I'm going to fight to keep doing what I really love to do. And I hope that I will have a lot of ideas to write about, and I hope that I will make a lot of different movies. I hope that I will still play too, well, act too, because I really love that. And I think that I don't want to put too much pressure on me, because if I decide to do something and if I put too much pressure on that, then it's gonna become something that I have to do. And I
Right.
think that great things are things that you're passionate about and that you need to do more than you have to do. So I hope that I will still have a lot of things and a lot of movies to do, and that I will still have a lot of needs. So,
Suzanne, it was wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much for
oh, thank you
joining
very
me.
much.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.